Hey everyone, this is Somnath Gowda from Future Coders. In this video, we are going to be building this custom video player. So let's see a demonstration of what actually are we going to be building. Now, as you can see, this is a custom video player with custom slider, as you can see over here. Now, if I click on this video here, it starts to play. As you can see, now if I click again on this video, it pauses. Similarly, if I click on this play icon, the video actually plays. Now similarly, if I click on this pause button, as you can see, it actually switches between pause icon and this play icon and this pause icon. Similarly, while it's playing, if I press this stop button, as you can see, the video stops and returns to the starting position. Similarly, as you can see, the slider or the progress bar is actually moving with the video, and as you can see over here, the time is being updated. The length of the video is 60 seconds, so it's gonna play until the 60 seconds. Similarly, if I tap in the progress bar over here anywhere, as you can see, it resumes from there. Now if I tap here, as you can see, it resumes from there. Now if I tap over here, as you can see, so this is what we will be building in this video. So before we start building this, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please make sure you subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and also don't forget to leave a like on this video. So let's get started. Now let's open up our Visual Studio Code. Now let's see the folder structure. You can get these files from the link in the description from my GitHub repository. We are going to have a video that is going to be video.mp4. You are going to get it from the GitHub repo. The link is going to be in the description. We are going to have this image that is poster img. That's going to be this one. And also we are going to have a custom CSS that is going to be this progress CSS, which I got from the source over here. Now if I open that source, it's a nice article where it shows how to convert this normal looking progress bar to this nice looking progress bar. Everything is written, everything is guided over here. It's a nice article, so I wanted to give a credit for them. That CSS is coming from this article, so we will be using that. Of course, you can get this from my GitHub repository. Okay, now let's inside of the index.html, let's define our boilerplate by saying exclamatory and pressing enter. Now I'm gonna name the title as custom video player. Now let's link the style CSS files by saying link. The first one is going to be in the CSS, and it's going to be the style.css. Let's also link the progress.css. It's in the CSS folder and progress.css. Let's also link the JavaScript file script, and the source is going to be script.js. Okay, now let's start by adding some basic structure of our HTML for this project. Before that, let's right click and open with live server. If you don't know what actually the open live server is, it is an extension provided by the Visual Studio Code. You can go to the extension marketplace and search for live server and install this extension. Once you install, you can right click on index.html and you can open the project in a live server, or you can right click over here and open with live server. Okay, now inside of we are also going to use we are also going to use the font awesome. So let's head over to font awesome. we are gonna use the CDN actually. Let's head over to cdn.js. I'm gonna search for font awesome. It's going to be this one. Let's copy the link tag and let's import that right after our linking our style files. So here I will be importing that. Okay, that's it. Now let's inside the body we are going to say an h1 tag custom video player. Okay, now after this h1 tag we are going to have actual video tag, which is going to take the source as our video.mp4, which is going to be this one, this video. And let's also give an ID over here. For that, let's give the ID as video, and let's set the class to screen, and we are going to set the poster to that image we have in the image folder, this poster png. Let's save and check. As you can see, there we have our video. You're not actually seeing it. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So we are gonna make this a little bit smaller in the CSS. So here, once I have we can also have the controls over here by saying controls. We can have this normal player. Now if I expand this, as you can see, I might have clicked on the video. As you can see, we can have these normal looking controls for this video, but we are gonna remove these and make our custom video player. We are gonna have this custom progress bar, we are gonna have this custom video button and this timing section. So let's do that. We are not gonna need the controls, the default controls, so I'm just gonna remove that. Okay, after the video tag we are gonna have a division with the class name of controls, which is going to contain all of those controls. Inside of that we are going to have a button with the class name of button, and it's going to have an ID of play. Inside of this button we are going to have an icon from the font awesome, which we already imported. So it's going to have a class name of fa dash play, and it's going to have one more class fa dash 2x. Okay, now if I save that and scroll, as you can see, there we have our play button. Again we are going to have one more button, and the ID is going to be stop, and the class name is going to be stop instead of play. And again there we have our stop button. Right after this button tag we are going to have an input with the type range. It's not going to have any name. It's going to have an ID of progress and also a class name of progress, and it's also going to have a minimum value of 0 and the maximum is going to be 100, and the step is going to be 0.1. and actually we are going to define the initial value as 0. Okay, there we have our progress bar, which is having this class name which is already defined inside of our CSS and this progress.css, which we have imported from this source. So now right after the input we are going to have a span tag with the class name of timestamp, and it's also going to have an ID of timestamp. Initially it's going to be 0 0, sorry. Okay, now let's save and check. As you can see, we just added basic HTML which we need. So let's define some styles so that we can actually make this look little bit nicer. Now inside of our style, let's start adding some style. I'm going to be using a custom font from the Google Fonts, which is going to be this Questerial. You can import or copy this code over here, or you can import it from the Google Fonts, or else you can use the default font family from the browser. So for the styles, let's select everything and set the box sizing to border box. Now let's set for the body, we are going to deselect the body and we are going to set the font family which we imported. That's going to be this Questerial and a sans serif. Okay. Now let's also set the display of flex. Okay, that's nice. Display of flex, and the flex direction is going to be column. Align items is going to be center, and justify content to the center to make it center horizontally and vertically. Okay. Now let's also set the max height to 100 view height. Let's also take away the margin, if any, 0. And let's set the background color to a little bit grayish. That's going to be this one. Okay. Now let's target this. Let's target actually the screen. I'm gonna target this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna target the video, this container actually, which is having this video, which is not looking nice. I'm gonna target the screen. Let's set the cursor to pointer. Width is going to be 60%. Okay, that's actually looking nice now. Okay, let's set the background color to black, and let's set the border top left radius actually, which is going to be 10 pixels. And also let's copy this border top right is also going to be this 10 pixels. As you can see, there we have our radius to the left and right. And let's select this h1 tag. Let's set the color to white. Okay, now where we have the controls, that's going to be this one. Let's target that. Let's set the background to a grayish color, and let's set the color to white. It's going to have bottom, it's going to have a border bottom left radius 10 pixels, and similarly border bottom right radius. That's nice. Let's say display of flex. Okay, now align items to the center, justify content to the center. Let's set the padding to 10 pixels, and let's set the width to 60%. Okay, that's nice. Now let's target those buttons, which are these ones. Let's target those. Controls, button. Let's set the border to 0, and the background is going to be transparent, and cursor is going to be pointer. Okay, now let's target the play button, which is having inside of the control. Let's target the play button fa by saying fa play, and that color is going to be green. That's going to be this one, 745. Okay, now let's target similarly the stop button, stop icon, and the color is going to be a little bit, sorry, it's going to be red, DC 3545, right? Now let's target this timestamp which are inside of the controls. Color is going to be white, font weight is going to be bold, and margin to the left 10 pixels. Okay, that's looking nice. Now let's add, as you can see when I click on that, it's actually adding some border, so that should be in the focus field so of the button. So button focus outline is going to be 0. So now if I click on that, as you can see, there is not going to be any outline. It's not looking nice whenever the screen is smaller, right? So we need to fix that. Let's add some media queries. At media, I'm gonna add the max width. Whenever the max width is to 800 pixels and below, dot screen, and for the controls, I'm gonna set the width to 90%. Now if I save that, as you can see, it actually works, right? Now it's time to add some JavaScript, right, to make it work. So let's do that. So inside of our JavaScript, let's grab everything that we need. We are gonna need the video. Let's grab that by saying document dot get element by id, which is having the id of video. As you can see over here, it's having the id of video. We are grabbing that video. Let's also grab the play button, which is having the id of play, and let's also grab the pause or the stop button, sorry, the stop button, which is having the id of stop. Here I am gonna say pause. And one more thing we want to grab here is the progress. That's going to be this input of type range. Let's grab that by saying progress, defining the id. And finally we also need that this timestamp, right? So I can grab that and store it in a variable. It is having the id of timestamp. So we are having access to all the elements that we need. Now let's start by adding all the event listeners first, so then we can actually add some functionality. So let's define the event listeners. The first event listener is going to be on the video dot add event listener. It's going to listen for the click event, and it's going to call this toggle video status. It's going to call this function. We are going to actually define this function once we define all the event listeners. So one more, we are going to add it on the video event listener, add event listener, or we are going to listen for the pause event, and it's going to call a function called as update play icon. And let's add one more event listener on this add event in this video. It's going to listen for the play event, and it's going to call the same function, update play icon. Let's add one last event listener on this video. It's going to listen for the time update, and it's going to call the function update progress. Okay, we also have to define some more. It's I made a mistake, it should be O. Okay, let's also define some more event listeners. We are going to add it on the play button. Add event listener. It's going to listen for the click, and it's going to call the function toggle video status. Let's also add on the event listener on the stop button. Add event listener. It's going to listen for the click, and it's going to call the function stop video. Let's also add one more event listener on the progress. Dot add event listener. It's gonna look for the change event. Basically, whenever I click somewhere over here, that's going to be fire off this change event. So here I'm gonna call set video progress. Now there we have defined all the event listeners we need. Now let's actually work on the functionality. Now let's define all the functions that we need. The first one is going to be for the play or to pause the video. So that function is going to be function toggle video status. So let's define that. For now, let's just say it's gonna return true. Let's define all the functions that we need. And the second function, we are going to need to update the play or pause icon. That is, whenever I click on this play button, it should turn to pause button, and the pause button should turn to play button. So here, function update play icon. For now, let's just return true. Now we are also gonna have one more function to update progress and timestamp. For that, let's just define the function. We are already calling those functions over here, so we are just defining those functions. It's going to be called update progress. It's gonna return true for now. We're gonna add the functionality in a bit, one by one. And there is going to be one more function, the set video progress. That's going to be called to set video time to progress. Let's call that. Let's define the function set video progress. Let's also return true. And finally, we are going to have one more function to stop the video. Let's define that function stop video. And for now, let's just also return true. Now let's work on, whenever I click on this video, it should actually start playing. So, and whenever I click on this button, it should actually start to play, and if I click on it one more time, it should pause. So let's work on that. That should be in this toggle video status. So let's work on that now. We are going to check if video is paused, if it is in the pause state. I'm gonna say video dot play, and let's also define the else case. Of course, it's going to be for video dot pause. Now let's save that. So when I click on this video, as you can see, it actually starts playing. So if I click on one more time, the video pauses. Again, if I click on this play button, the video plays, and if I click one more time, it is pausing. We also need to work on this icon, updating this icon, so that whenever I click on this play button, it should turn to pause button. Whenever I click on that pause button, it should turn to play button. So let's work on that. It's going to be in this update play icon. Here I'm gonna say if video is actually in the pause state, I need to update here if, sorry, I'm not gonna add one more here. Let's just say play dot inner HTML, and I'm gonna add a list li list item. As you can see in the button, we are actually having a play button, right? So I need to update it to a pause button. Here I'm gonna say a class name. The class name is going to say fa minus play and fa minus 2x if it is in the pause state, right? So I'm just gonna copy this one more time, or else if it is playing, I need to set it as the pause icon. Now if I play this video, as you can see, it turns to pause button. Now if I click on this pause button, as you can see, it turns to play button, and so on. And I also added some styles in the styles.css on this pause button, on this pause icon, and set the color to white. Make sure you do that also. So now let's work on updating the progress, meaning that this should move whenever this video is playing. So let's work on that. For that, I actually need to work on this update progress. Here I can grab the video current time by saying video dot current time. It is gonna give me the video current time. Now if I console log that, console.log, now if I open up my console and if I press play button, as you can see, we are actually getting the video current time on where it's playing. So it's saying 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, as you can see. So we will be using that. So let's just pause this. So we are gonna remove this. I'm gonna set progress dot value, that is going to be here. This progress, we are setting this value over here. We need to actually grab here video dot current time and divide it by video dot duration. Of course, this duration is going to be 60 seconds or 59 seconds. I don't know how much is the length of this video. I think it should be 59 seconds. That's gonna get that by saying video dot duration and multiplied by 100, so that we get this value in this progress. So let's save that. Okay, now again we also need to get, let's see, as you can see, the progress is actually moving along with the video. Now let's work on updating this timestamp, right? So let's pause that. Here I need to get minutes and seconds, right? Here I will say get minutes. I will say let minutes is equals to math dot floor. Remember, we are getting that current time in some decimal values, right? So we are gonna floor it video dot current time and divide it by 60, so that we get minutes. And if we are going to check if minutes is less than 10, we are going to append minutes, we are going to append a 0, and we are going to append a concatenate string of minutes, this minutes, right? This one. Okay, now I also need to get seconds. For that, I will add a comment get seconds. Let seconds is going to be same mat.floor. Here I should say video, and it's gonna floor video dot current time, and this time we are gonna perform the modulus of 60 so that we get seconds. Here I'm gonna say check if seconds is less than 10. Similarly, I will also do the same thing. I will append 0 and concatenate string seconds. And all I have to do is I have got the minutes, I have got the seconds. All I have to do now is just update that inside of the timestamp. I will say timestamp.innerHTML. Let's use template strings. Inside of that, I will say mints and a colon and seconds. Now if I save that and play the video, as you can see, the timestamp is actually working, and this progress bar is also working. Now we need to actually work on, so whenever I click somewhere in this progress, so that video should play, right? So that's very simple. We need to work on the set video progress. That is firing off when we actually change the progress here. This is gonna fire up the change event and fire off this function. Here all I have to do is I need to set video.currentTime. Make sure I get the number value from this progress.value and multiply it by video.duration and divide it by 100. By doing that, now if I save that and play this, as you can see, when I click on somewhere in this progress bar, the video actually plays from there, and it's actually working. Now with the one final thing that we should work on is stopping, right? They should stop the video and make it come to the beginning. So here inside the stop video function, I'm gonna say video.currentTime. I will set it to 0 so that it comes to the beginning, and I will just video.pause. Now if I save that and play this, as you can see it plays. Now if I click on this pause button, as you can see it comes to the beginning and just pauses the video. So that's it guys for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys learned something from this video. For more videos like this and for more projects like this, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to leave a like on this video. So I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.